we're trying to find a social, and socials, they aren't announced. You have to just like spot them out, and you can get in that way. And we couldn't find any. They were already all. It's late, so they're already all going.
It's like 9.
It's 11.
11:30.
Heavy fucking dumbass! You already damaged it.
What, my dude?
I'm
Chill.
sorry. Oh, I have a gadget Zen. Alright, I'm saving that. And
Gadgets and Gazette.
yes, let's feral roar and kill this guy.
What kind of food do you think they have in Gadgetson? I want to try some fucking Gadgetson food.
Yeah, same actually.
It's probably nasty. They don't have a good police system there.
What's that?
Hello,
Hello,
lot of
Sergeant
people.
Sally? Hello?
Yes, it depends on how many
Sydney,
reinforcements
Sydney,
you.
here's another question for you. Would you bang Sergeant Sally?
I
You would bang anybody at this point.
I don't remember what Sergeant said.
Honestly, Nick, you would. Like, for real though.
I'll tell you what 100% bang Aya Blacktor.
Nah, Nick would just
Why you
like,
gotta hate, dude?
if it's got a hole, it just fits right on in. It just.
As long as it's warm. That good
As long
old,
as it's warm.
what is that? 4chan meme? Doesn't even need to be alive, just needs to be warm.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
What's wrong with you, man? There's Sergeant Sally, Nate Sydney, I put in the Discord. Notice the Ben Brode in the top right corner.
Oh, I see that.
She looks like a gnome, yeah.
Who is a gnome?
And she's got glowing eyes.
She's a dragon. Probably out.
I think I got enough value out of that.
People in Warcraft just have glowing eyes for some reason.
Alright, what the fuck is this music?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Time out.
Hold on. No. It's not time for timeout yet.
I'm just gonna leave if I get into timeout again.
Alright, timeout time.
No, don't put him in timeout yet. I paused it. Nick, it is called Megalovania. It is the final boss fight for the game
It's not the
Undertale.
final boss fight.
Only
It's a
final boss.
penultimate final boss fight, and only if you do the kill everyone run.
One of the final fights.
Okay.
The hardest boss fight is what it is.
Yes.
Sergeant Sally's an actual fucking character. Oh, from Sherlock. Oh. What is another?
I need to get a new monitor. This one's just starting to randomly cut out.
Dorsey, you need to get some skill.
But I'm out of money. Well, I'm low on money. Need to reserve it for next
He's playing
semester.
Hearthstone, and when I tell him to get some skill, he says he's out of money. Lol.
Touche.
That roast at Hearthstone, though.
I'm out of money.
We're going
That's a
to-
good one, actually.
I like how Nick Note lost the jokes like 2 years after they actually happened. Is that bass boosted version? It sounds so low quality.
Yeah, what the hell?
What? It can't be greater than 100?
Hello, John.
Got it. Why is the sound quality so low?
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is really looking good, actually.
Paused and unpaused. It's so much.
No, because you set it to like volume so many, and it just exploded.
This is very strange.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking loud. Okay, can I link this? Fucking SoundCloud actually so useless.
Do I doomsayer this? No, I don't. I'll be done.
Oh, god damn
This
it.
works. I believe the last time you could play sound with color.
Yes!
It feels so weird when you turn the volume down.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one that Nate Brown's gonna enjoy.
Oh, let's go.
It's gotta be eviscerate. Oh, you're gonna take 8 face damage? Okay.
I'm gonna put it on volume 25. There we go, that's good enough. Good amount.
Oh shit, no, this is bad.
Oh, this is like jam. SoundCloud is honestly fucking amazing for finding great jams. Oh, it ends.
Okay. That was almost a disaster, actually.
It's gonna get nasty.
This is actually fucking. This one goes fucking hard, actually.
Not shuffled very well.
Can we just listen to that?
No,
Original version.
This is a jam.
I hate meme. Unless you're some lazy cow meme, I ain't having it.
This is good. Absolute banger. Come on, Susan.
Because the first one is the banger.
Without memes, I will die. Give me the memes. I need the memes. I smell the
That
memes.
filthy Frank remix.
I need all the memes to survive. I need the memes. I
Dumbass.
read the memes. I smell the memes. I need all the memes to survive. They call me the meme machine. I catch the memes, I spread the memes, I eat the memes, I shit the memes. Without memes, I will die. Inhale the memes, exhale the memes, inject the memes into my bloodstream. There are good memes and there are bad memes. Why has God abandoned us? Smoke the memes, snort the memes, take the memes until you OD. If you borrowed my memes, then you owe me.
Check this out, guys. Can you see it, or you have to click on it and download it?
Meme machine. I'm a motherfucking meme machine.
Oh, that's too bad. You actually have to download it.
Post it on Jiffy Cat.
Oh, I'll just post some of your link there.
I smell the memes. I need all the memes to survive. I need the memes. I read the memes.
Oh, hold on.
I smell the memes. I need all the memes to survive.
Why am I cute?
There's a song that is needed to be played specifically for that again.
Do I rap? No, I don't technically memes there. And hope he doesn't have a 4 damage nuke.
No, okay, skip to my song because it's fitting for the gift that Nick N posted. Drift song. Oh my god, that guy's fucking dead. I didn't even realize what happened.
No, I know what happened. He's dead. He's just a dumbass.
It's a Muro beat in here. Singing, please. You have to have heard this in a meme video before.
I don't watch meme videos.
Oh!
Oh my god.
You've never seen the fucking video of this drift meme? It's from an anime about drifting.
It is Wednesday.
What do you mean, Mike? Wait, Michael?
Michael,
Yeah,
why
look,
did
he's
Michael
not
leave?
Because he said it was some cancer.
It's
Literally the same
the
thing.
exact same, except you can choose not to see certain chat channels. Oh my god.
Wait, what the fuck?
How can you ever think that
No, what the slag? It's a bit too loud. I wish the ball wasn't lagging.
Oops.
I did it again.
Yeah, it's lethal. Oh damn it, I should've. Damn, miscalculated.
Fucking damn it.
I'm gonna play some SimCity.
Nick, no, this actually a single player game.
It is, and it's fun.
Alright, but
Nick, I'm down to play some SimCity. Let's go.
I already have a city on
I'm
top
gonna-
with you guys.
can you fix that?
I'm gonna try and repair and install.
Yeah, you should do that. What us?
Widespread health? No. My citizens. Oh my god, there are several disasters. 31 rubble, 38 abandoned buildings, and there's several homeless people.
Wow, Nick Noche tries to put his style of governing on people, it collapses the entire city.
You got me there.
I do indeed.
But in a true libertarian economy, there would be a private company that would come take care of this.
Nope, because they'd have no monetary reason to.
Yeah, you'd make money off
Unless
of
they
it.
exploited the civilians
Got
hard,
five
and
things to
then
do. Oh my
everyone
god, we need some filthy Frank in here.
to break it. Oh, we're playing Megalomania, that ain't happening.
Yeah, we've already listened to it like twice.
Hello, thanks for the first time we were fucking up.
Do a story.
Hit my
Oh,
wheelchair.
this is a
As
classic.
you can see, there's construction underway here. They dug out a little
This is a
bit.
I remember you showed this to me in like 2014, so
Hit my wheelchair.
You finally stopped finding it.
Hilarious.
You're a terrible person.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
The fuck I can see. I need to get the fuck out of this country.
Oh shit, there's polluted water.
Oh, it's filthy and items. Oh,
Oh, is there a new filthy break?
I'm watching a war is coming.
Oh, that's like an 8 video. And the war's already happened. The video's called Filthy Frank vs. Changelings. And Frank looks like he's about to roar on that arc. It's a classic Sydney from like 2013. Alright, what song is this? Oh, this is a good one.
There's a high amount of pollution.
Wait, 30 seconds. Oh god, dude, the way his head is synced.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna, yeah, facts. Now let's use these again. From Death Stranding, which looks like a godly game.
Jesus Christ.
We are number 1, but every one is Big E cheese.
How do I take a screenshot, guys? In
Hit it with that back skip.
Oh my god, dude.
The all caps skip. Alright, I'm actually gonna. I'll be right back because I gotta do the dishes.
Wow, he sings my song and then fucking leaves to not hear anything.
I'm gonna give Note that quick.
You wanna give me a quickie? What?
I was gonna give you that quick timeout before I leave. Now, do you realize that timeout, all it does is move the channel that you're in, you can just move right back in?
Yes, I know.
We could make it so that you get trapped in that channel if you get moved away.
Secrets of the makers.
Fuck, my armpits smell so bad right now, holy shit.
Thanks for sharing.
I had some good old garlic noodles. Some spicy chicken, it's just awful.
Build it!
Build the wall. No, I actually do hate this trend though of people who will like break someone's property because they disagree with them and then they'll like ask for the internet to bail them out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm in Ultimate. There's nothing in fucking Ultimate. What the fuck? Ultimate is literally a room with nothing in it.
You might be in the wrong place then.
No, it's fucking
Can you
says
hold them
Ultimate.
on? Isn't it like a fucking raid? Oh yeah, it's like a archaeological.
Oh,
A fucking idiot. Keeper of Alderman, and she makes you a 3/3.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Well, it's just because they wanted to take some of the lore of like this like fallen over god statue or whatever, and then just make it a character.
Well, it is a boss. I just fought her.
Oh. So he can solo bosses already.
Why?
Oh my god, WoW looks so fucking bad. Jesus Christ. They actually just need to make HD WoW.
It's really fun, but the graphics are not great.
I need a target.
Lore, keep it short.
Lord Keeper Chill.
That is a timeout. What are you watching? Nate, are you watching more Donkey and not playing video games with your friends?
Who's rocking their chair?
Cool about that chair, son. I keep putting shit in the wrong fucking chat, oops.
That because they're a little low.
Casper Slide Part 2, featuring the Platinum Band, and this time, we're gonna funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. All right, now, we're gonna do the basic step. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's stomp. Left foot, let's stomp. Cha-cha, real smooth.
The Naterator, hello, what are you
Turn it
doing?
out. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's stomp.
And we need to get a
Left
hospital
foot,
up
let's
this.
stomp. Cha-cha now, y'all. Now it's time to get funky. To the right now. To the left. Take it back now, y'all. One hop this time. One hop this time.
Again, all of my citizens are happy. This
Slide
is
to the left. Slide to the right.
Well, when you force them to be happy with your police state, what do you expect?
it's not a police state. I let them do whatever they want.
Let's
God, no wonder your fucking city's running horribly.
take it back now, y'all.
Okay, has there ever been a successful libertarian government ever?
Right foot, 2 steps.
Yes, it's called the United States of America before the Great Depression.
The United States of America was not fucking libertarian before the Great Depression.
Yeah. Cha-cha now,
They
y'all.
were not fucking libertarian, they were democratic capitalists.
That's
It's just,
libertarian
it's
society.
just around about that time period, you know, you don't have resources to make sure that companies aren't screwing people over. Rotate. Rotate. You're like saying that people being forced to work 14 hours a day, including children, fucking like coal mines where they
Forced
can
to,
barely
it's a
fit.
choice.
Oh, okay, so their choices are die or do that. Good choices then, okay. You either die or you live
What do you
in constant
suggest?
pain and misery your entire life. I suggest the current government of America is fine, but with like some slight changes to make it so it's more fair on the fucking people. I don't have a problem with the
Alright.
current American government, honestly. I think it's a fine system. It just needs like to have some minor changes that are pretty retarded and are only there because the government system was made in the 1700s. 1600s.
See, now the thing about a lot of the economic policies that the government use don't do much.
Give me an example, please.
So, in 2003, President George W. Bush did a tax rebate thing where or got some of their tax money back at the belief that they would spend the money and it would start to buff the economy up again. But it did nothing because
George
people
W.
knew
Bush is an idiot.
that, and it was something else that Al Gore would have too, which you can't deny.
No, I can deny that. Actually,
Yeah.
Nick Note,
So-
because Al Gore was never president, so we don't know if he would have done that.
He would have. I guarantee it.
Not necessarily. You guarantee something that we have no way of knowing if it is true. Okay, Nick Note.
Stealing.
Considering that Democrats, and especially Al Gore, do not give a single shit about people getting their tax money back, because people already get their fucking tax money back, it's called construction of roads and schools. You know, I'm sure we've fucking done that. People getting their tax money back is not a democratic issue.
My Thoris on spear.
Didn't do anything to stimulate the economy, as I was saying. People just kept the money, and then when the government came back asking
It's hard.
taxes,
Like, people think like, oh, taxing just giving the government money to the government will not do anything. They're bettering your overall well-being and life.
and
Wow.
I'm saying that private companies would do it a lot better than them.
No, because they have no fucking shit to gain from it without exploiting the fuck out of the people who
It's not exploitation. They make money, and if people
It is exploitation. Note, what? Okay, Note, what does a private company have to gain from building the fucking street that your house lives on? Unless
Money.
they put a toll booth at the end of the fucking street that your house lives on, so that every time you go down the street, you have to pay a toll. You see what the problem is here, Nick Note? This is basic economics.
yes, and they have money to gain, which is why it would.
Yeah, they have money to gain. Guess what happens? You turn the corner and go up the street that is next to your house, and you have to pay another toll. Because not everyone lives on your street, so not everyone's paying that street toll, so they need to put a toll on the street next to it for people that frequently use that. And all of a sudden, going to work, you spend $100 just on tolls because it was all built by a private company that needs to get their money back and make profit.
Is that not what happens already?
No, it's not. There are only tolls on bridges, and there are bridges that do not have tolls on them. They're just inconvenient places. Nick Note.
You're wrong, because
And those tolls go towards the government to maintain the uptake of the bridge, to make sure that
Isn't that
it
what taxes
continues
are
staying
for?
standing. If all the taxes were going to maintaining a bridge, then it would be a waste of taxpayer dollars. I wanted to spend taxpayer dollars on other projects. The toll will maintain the bridge. I'm skipping this shit while we have this debate. It's a bad song to have in the debate. It's not even a debate, it's like objective. Like, this is something that pretty much all intelligent professors agree on, that making private companies pay... Notate, I had an econ professor that was very much right-wing, and he thought that having private companies build roads and shit was a retarded idea because of how much it screws over normal
They already
citizens.
do, it's just that the government hires them to...
Yes, hence why normal citizens do not have to pay out the arse every time they drive down the street. You're saying, oh, they should just build it, and then they should put tolls on it, and then that's how they'll upkeep it, and it'll be fine. No one gets screwed over here. Everyone wins.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be taxes that's already taking money away
it's like
from
saying
them.
the government doesn't build their own fucking buildings. Like, of course fucking private companies build them. They're not... They don't
Nick Note, the purpose of taxes is to better your fucking existence, is to better your life. You're not just giving money to the government, you're giving money to the government that you then get in returns from them building schools in your neighborhood, which raise your housing, which raises like the value of your house, then you can sell it later more later down the line. They build roads so that you have better access. They build like fucking like public parks and stuff so that kids have places to go and all that sort of shit. In fact, most of the reason why like crime rates and shit are so high is because the government takes taxes and then does not spend it back into the community. But you know what? Those crime rates would still be fucking high because you would have to build a park and you would have to pay people out the arse to enter it, so people just wouldn't use the park. And then they would just like, if they did, they'd have to fucking pay out the arse, and then they just have to resort to crime to get their money back because they're already poor, because when they drive down the street they have to pay $20. Note, I bet you think that like having, because Note is like being retarded about basic economic principles. Like, Note, I bet you think like, oh yeah, firemen should be fucking privately owned as well, even though, you know, fires can spread, and so when you call a fireman, you have to wait for it to spread to your house unless the guy next to you had the same fire people as you. You know, it's a retarded idea.
I think there's some things that should be done through the government, but I think that they should be left.
You say that because you are alt-right as fuck and you do not want to admit it.
Alt-right? I did not vote for Donald Trump. Don't want him
yes,
my
you did,
presidency.
Note, hence why you are not telling us who you voted for ever.
I told you already.
Who did you vote for?
Evan McMullen.
Did you vote for Healy Crystals? Oh my god, please
No.
don't kill me.
I voted for Evan McMullen. Go ahead and look him up. His policies are something that made the most sense to me. Voted for him. He's actually currently speaking out against...
McMullen has said he is starting a new oh, that sounds an awful lot like the alt-right, a new conservative movement? Oh, what is this? He has a fucking
Against
gigantic
Donald
old
Trump.
head?
If you look at his Twitter and look at everything he's been saying, it doesn't take that much effort to find this.
McMullen describes himself as a conservative alternative. Wow, sounds like pretty fucking alt-right to me. Conservative alternative. Literally the definition of alt-right. Nick
Look what he
Note.
calls for and tell me if that's similar to...
Yes, it is.
Okay, tell me what it is then.
Well, if you are clearly so obsessed with libertarian policies, he obviously has libertarian policies.
Not so much, actually.
He's the most libertarian person, and guess what the alt-right people call for? Libertarian policies.
No, you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm not wrong, Nick Note.
You are.
Nick Note, Drain the Swamp was a whole thing about getting the government to have less control by getting people who have been in the
Okay,
government.
then explain Donald Trump keeping jobs in the United States by going in and preventing companies from sending them overseas by increasing tariffs and regulations. That is about as anti-libertarian as you can get.
Did I say Donald Trump was alt-right? I'm saying Evan McMullen is alt-right, and you are alt-right for
Donald
voting for him.
Trump is alt-right.
He is not alt-right.
Who dares awaken Arcadus? Who dares the wrath of the makers?
Since the election, McMullen has said he is starting a new conservative movement reaching out to non-traditional conservative voters. Oh, what is that? Fucking alternative conservative voters? What is that? Fucking alt-right?
For the makers!
They don't like Donald Trump because he's the new conservative.
Non-traditional, Nick Note. Non-traditional conservative voters.
So is Trump traditional then?
No, non-traditional conservative voters means that they're not people who would traditionally vote conservative. In the same way that traditional conservative voters normally vote. Clearly, a lot of people who are conservative voted for fucking Donald Trump. Obviously.
Yeah, my dad did.
See, Nick Note? And he is a traditional conservative voter.
It's because he didn't like Clinton more. Which I have to say I agree with. Oh, I really didn't like either of them a lot.
Hence why you voted for someone who's like fucking alt-right libertarian. Jesus Christ, Note. Okay, Note. So, do you at least understand why giving roads to private companies is a retarded idea? Note, if you want to know more about libertarian economics, how about you play the game BioShock? Was that game's entirely about the dangers of
BioShock 1 or which one?
BioShock 1. And 2, I mean, they're both set in the same universe.
So you're basing this off of a video game now?
No, I'm not. I'm originally basing it off of my economic teachings where I learned, and I don't know how you haven't learned it in your fucking first semester of college economics, because I learned it in the first, like, month of college economics.
What I'm
That libertarian policies where the companies have control of shit like roads, fire stations, all that sort of shit is retarded, because then they screw over people who live there because they have to make a profit, and all of a sudden the people who live there are paying out the arse, and then eventually they just have no money, and those people have to shut down the roads anyway. Like, it's retarded, Note. Thank you, Sydney. It's a good point.
I'm sick.
Good day.
Do you think that, in general, private companies do things better than the government?
I mean, the government hires private companies who've been over this, so I don't know. They kind of do shit the same way. And no, I don't, because private companies are looking out for profit and not for, like, the well-being of the people who live in the fucking country. Private companies have historically screwed the fuck over many, many people, not even just like minorities. I'm not like trying to be like minorities get screwed over by private companies. Everyone has gotten screwed over by a fucking private company. When you go and work a minimum wage job at like Target, it's because the private company wants to maximize its profits, so it's paying you only minimum wage. Everyone gets fucking screwed over them because they have to make a profit. So when you have a scenario,
you've been neat, so you haven't been screwed by Target.
Yeah, I know. Companies aren't looking out for their well-being just for profit, and the whole country just fucking self-destructs because it can't sustain itself with that kind of management.
You think that
unless it's slavery.
Are so retarded that they look at the short run and just get money then.
Note, have you looked at the food industry, at the fucking fast food industry? Have you looked at the meat industry? Have you looked at fucking Monsanto, at those kinds of companies? Those screw their workers so fucking hard, basically put them into permanent debt by making them pay for like specific equipment so that they're constantly going into debt when they're about to be able to pay off all their debt to the company. It's like, oh, well, you know, you have to pay for this company, or you have to pay for any kind of stuff. If you are born into a farming lifestyle, then that is all you can fucking do. If you live out in the fucking middle of bumfuck nowhere and you're a farmer and your dad was a farmer and your granddad was a farmer and you're forced into farming because Monsanto has like a fucking policy where it's like, oh, this land has to be Monsanto farms, like, then you get fucked, Note. That's what happens when a private company like does shit like that. Then you look at the meat industry. People in the meat industry like get screwed, like they get fucking carpal tunnel syndrome after missing limbs and like broken bones because the fucking meat industry is horrible and people are forced to work in it because of their environment, Note. Like private companies will do anything to get profit, and it's because they don't care about their fucking employees. They just want people who can cut the meat. They don't care if they actually have like well-being or they get paid well or they don't fucking die on the job. They just want people who can cut the meat so they can then sell the meat for like fucking like a 400% profit. Like, Note, do you not see the problem here?
Alright, let's say this. You hear that people who go work for the meat company are dying because of the conditions they're having to work in. What do? You
put fucking government regulations to prevent the meat company from doing that shit. There are government regulations.
Answer my question first.
You asked what do? You have a government that regulates the meat industry so that it can't
Say there
fucking
is no
let people
government.
just die
They,
on the
they
job.
don't regulate.
Then the meat industry just kills people on the job because if they die on the job, who the fuck cares? Oh, what? You live in this area of fucking poverty stricken because you were wasting money spending fucking money at the toll booths every time you drive to work? Oh, you have to work on the meat industry because that's the only job available? Because of the fucking way we've set up our industry? Like, okay. Without government regulations, then businesses can just screw the fuck out of their employees to maximize profit, and they will, because they already do it, and they just try to hide it from the government, and sometimes they are successful because it's impossible for the government to manage fucking 50 states. You can do it in other smaller countries like Denmark easily, because there's not much states to manage, but when you have one government managing 50 states, then like you can't manage everything, even though there are policies, they just get away with that shit because the country's so big and it's impossible to regulate it.
Can you let me talk now? Because you haven't been.
It's because you keep saying retarded points.
You answer them. God damn it. We're in an argument.
You're asking me questions, and then you're getting mad at me when I answer them. I literally just spent like a good minute answering your question, and then you said, "Can you let me talk, please?" Like, fuck off, Note. Like, I don't understand. Legit asked me, what would you do? I answer, and then he gets mad for not letting him talk. Okay. What the fuck is the quality of Norte's college though? Like, I went to fucking community college and I've learned more about basic economic principles in my first semester of community college. Not even taking full-time community college classes, than I have in Note's fucking like first semester at an actual college. Like, what the fuck? I'm baffled. Note doesn't want to admit when he's wrong, so he just leaves instead. Actually, that's exactly what happened. Install World of Warcraft, come join you soon. I make that cash money from YouTube, so I could actually afford to spend $15 a month or whatever on fucking YouTube, on fucking World of Warcraft.
It is too far away.
Alright, I'll be right back. I gotta do these dishes.
That's why I'll be.
Just like how we hear Note say something about racist in the back.
4 years. No, she was the third best. The third best in the world. Yeah. So she wasn't just that. Everyone has badges because of you. I know. Yeah. They wait until you're gonna die. That's the same. You wait. So let's say you get a broken arm.
It looks like he got like his friend.
Go to the doctor. Like.
It looks like he got his friend to argue in the general area of his microphone. But the thing is though, the point that his friend made is literally the point of why libertarian shit sucks. Because dentist offices wait as long as possible to actually treat people so they can maximize the money they make. They don't make money on treating people throughout the year to prevent the problem. They let the problems build up and then charge out the odds for medical issues because then they maximize their profits.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, you know, hit Note with that fat move to timeout since he's clearly not talking in the Discord. He's just trying to talk near us with his friend and circle jerk about the points that he makes.
I'm out of range.
Ed visits the Slassel. I finally looked at this message you sent me.
It is too far away.
Doesn't it look like your fucking teacher though? We are back. Ah shit, do the dishes. I've been trying to do for the past hour. Interrupting me. Oh my god. Alright, yeah.
I need to get closer. I don't have a target. I'm out of range. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. I need a target. I don't have a target. Target.
Where'd Nate go?
Wait, so why is Nick in timeout?
Because they were arguing about fucking.
Okay, do I need to take Nat?
Well, like, okay, so like Nick was like I don't even remember.
Alright, so you're also a Nick timeout manager, so if you feel that he is unjustly
Oh, what was happening?
Or that's not.
Where'd Nat go?
I need a target.
Alright, but answer me this. City.
Hello?
but
Back
just
for a
answer.
couple
Alright,
of
Nat.
minutes,
Nat, answer me this without arguing any. There is no government interference with this. You are looking for a job, and you hear that this one meat producing company has its workers dying a lot. Like, they die frequently. Do you go work there?
I mean, if it's the only job I can get, yeah. And that's
There are other jobs in a
that's
capitalist country where there's no.
what happens, Nick Note. That is the inherent problem with the system, which is what I was trying to explain to you. If your qualifications are as a meat worker, then you can only get a meat working job. And you need money to be able to pay for college, need money to be able to go to a college or get a proper education to be able to do something other than a menial chore like meat working, Nick Note. If meat working is the only job you can get, which for a lot of people is the case, I'm sure these people don't want to work in the fucking industry because they're like skin will fucking rot and shit. They don't want to fucking work there, obviously, but they have to. It's the only job they can fucking get.
In a purely capitalist society where there is no any other laws, you'd be able to find a job pretty much anywhere.
I mean, not to say this, but America is pretty fucking capitalistic. In fact, it's the most capitalistic economy in the world.
I would disagree with you.
And, yeah, you really can't. Hence why people work at meat plants that end up having employees dying on the job, even when there are government regulations against it.
There's a thing called minimum wage. If it weren't for that, then unemployment would be essentially non-existent. Everybody who would want a job would pretty much be able to get a job.
No say. If minimum wage didn't exist, people would be getting paid like people would be getting paid jack shit.
They'd be getting paid what they'd be willing to work for.
They'd be getting paid jack shit. Because you underestimate there will always be people who can only afford to get one kind of job, Nick Note.
I don't have a
due to lack of education.
Nick, look at third world countries that don't have a minimum wage and they're making like 2 cents an hour.
2 cents an hour, exactly.
With like 16-hour workdays. Look at the 1800s.
That's in a country with a very inferior.
Okay, have you heard of Chinese child labor slaves that make like 1 cent a day? You know, that's what happens when you have a society that lets companies run China does have regulations. Basically, the point I was making earlier, they die if you don't get money to pay for okay, Nick Note, like they're forced to, because all of the companies realize, well, if we all just offer like 1 cent per hour wages, then they have to fucking work for us, so they die.
No,
which is what happens in China. Which
they stop getting workers.
Which is what happens in China. But they don't stop getting workers, because workers have to go work, because if they don't work, they can't buy food, and they can't buy food, they starve to death.
There's a thing called striking.
Yes, and then you get fired, and then they hire people.
Yeah, and then they hire people who are like, I'd rather just not starve to death. I'll work for 1 cent an hour. You know, so that I can afford my bowl of rice every night.
So I can afford to feed my child a bowl of rice.
No, so here's another good example. When you have drug companies that aren't regulated, they can charge like $1 million, like obviously $1 million in exaggeration. They charge fuck tons of money for a life-saving medication for a certain disease, and people who have that disease have to pay that money or die. When you don't have regulations to avoid situations like that, they have to pay the money, or they just like, I guess I just die. That already sort of happens. People already go into debt to pay for stuff, but there are like government regulations that limit that sort of shit. But when you don't have government regulations on it, they're supposed to die or go into millions of dollars of debt to keep themselves alive with this life-saving drug that is getting charged out the ass because you can make a shit ton of profit.
No, people have done that. They bought.
Yeah, I know. People have done that.
The drug company. I think it was.
It was Shkreli, but Shkreli
like a couple years ago. They bought like an aid, and for like AIDS.
Nate, I know what you're talking about. It wasn't for AIDS, but the thing is though, he was charging it so that insurance companies would have to pay the upfront cost, and the people with the actual disease would get it for free. But people have done that before. It's just the example you're talking about. That wasn't actually a case of that sort of thing happening.
Okay, well, I didn't know that he made the insurance had to pay for it.
Yeah, Shkreli's actually a good guy. I don't know why the internet fucking hates him. He was actually
no, the dude got arrested for like fraud or something.
Yeah, Ashgar
No, it
was
was
the
for
guy.
something completely unknown, unrelated to the other.
Yes, that's why I said frog. Because it's completely unrelated.
But do you see the point?
I mean, no, like Corsic.
And the other thing is, well, Nick Note, you can't say, oh, you just go work for another meat company. Because the thing is, there are like 5 major meat producers in America. All of them do this shit. It's not exclusive to one company. All of them do this shit. So no matter which one you would go and work for, you'd be fucked no matter what.
Like,
Because
it's
they
like
collude-
Nick. It's like grocery stores. Like they all have an agreement to be paid this pretty much the same thing.
What if one of them sees, you know what? I'm gonna make it safer to work. Guess what? People
Well,
start going to them
okay,
to work there, and then the other meat companies
Nick,
when they
Note.
so they're like, oh shit, let me.
Okay, so Note. Let's say your company that is realizing, all right, let's get more workers. You know, now all of a sudden they have to pay more costs. They're making less profit just already. And then people who are living, let's say that company does not have a factory in the San Francisco area, but another company does. What the fuck does someone who lives in the San Francisco area do? Move with the no money that they have to the area that has the good meat company? No, they're still forced to work in the fucking bad meat company.
I'm out of range.
Like, Note, you can argue with us up and down all day, but people have fucking wrote like tens of thousands of page books on this exact shit. Like, there's a reason why we have these systems in place, and it's because people will go for maximum profit, and they do if they can get away with it. Hence, but just look at fucking China. China does that shit, and you see people working for like 1 cent a fucking day. China is not communist. China is more it's probably more capitalist than America. China may try to be communist, but they.
You said earlier that America is the most capitalist.
Oh my god, Nick Note.
Said probably.
Nick Note.
No, they aren't.
China. Oh my god, this is the classic. Oh, you made a statement that was very broad to just. Oh my god, just shut the fuck up and let me explain. China China is communist, but they are shit at regulations, so their companies get away with everything, hence making them a capitalistic society that is run by the companies. Note. Let me give you an example. My brother lived in China for 6 years. He knew people whose families had lost their houses because a company just decided they were going to destroy all of the buildings in the town to build a factory there. He knew people who have gone to China and report to the government that a company was fucking up their farm, was like polluting their farm crops, so their family was dying essentially, and they could no longer make a living. They went to the government, but guess what happened? They were killed on the way. They were mysteriously killed on the way. You know, and this happens again and again and again. Every single time a company tries to screw someone over in China, if that person tries to do something about it, they suddenly mysteriously die on their way to the government. Whoa! It's almost like if you let companies run wild, they'll do anything to be able to keep maximum profits and hold no responsibility. To the point of fucking killing people. Seriously, Note. Do you need more examples?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I still disagree with you, but we're not gonna find a middle ground on this, so.
No matter how much evidence you provide. And the
So,
evidence
hold on.
from your
Can I ask you
theories,
this?
Nick Note.
Do you like the minimum wage laws that we have in...
I think minimum wage laws should be raised because it's impossible for people to survive on minimum wage in any areas. You want to know how much raising the minimum wage from what are we at right now? We're at like
$10.
We're at $10 in California.
$10 here in San Mateo County.
Yeah, it did not increase unemployment. First off, when it actually was raised to $15, would add an extra 1 cent cost to everything in a store. 1 cent extra cost.
It's not
you charge
that.
1% on everything in the store, and all of a sudden you fully they hire less and have them work more. Guess what? They pay the same amount of fucking money anyway, Nick Note.
Yeah, and then people who don't actually.
This.
No, because I'm talking about people who can't find a job because companies.
Oh, so you're making my point for me
Nick,
about what happens in a libertarian society?
What are you talking about?
Why would they hire less and make people work more?
Because you have to pay one person more.
You pay the same amount of You pay the same amount of money.
Note, if you need
play
three
more 'cause you're
people,
fucking making
if you
more
need 2 people to stock the shelves in okay.
Guess
Half
what?
as
You're
bad.
less willing. That's not true.
Alright, look about the fucking the 9
I like
to
how
10
Note's
raise and
examples
unemployment
are.
rate.
That's
All right.
literally
Are
human
you more
nature.
willing to pay for pizza if the price of it were?
Economics. You're taking an economics class. You should know there are fucking 2 different classes. Goods and labor are inherently separated because they are inherently different in how they function and how people think about how they work. Economics class, you took one in high school as well, but you are missing these very basic principles. 2 of economics. That's like an intro to the rest of the stuff you'll learn in the semester.
Hold on, I'm reading this so I can get an actual article.
Alright, you guys want to know the fucking solution? You fucking
Yeah.
just don't care.
Holocaust 2.0.
Alright, that's not what I was gonna say. Don't care about the well-being of your citizens.
Yeah, such as what? Well, China does care about the
is
well-being, but they're so
now
shit at
in
regulating
session.
shit that the companies can just do whatever the fuck they want.
Look at that. The government's mad at doing something.
The Chinese government, Note, not
your
the
point?
American government. You were saying.
I'm talking about governments in
Note,
general.
you realize the point you just made is because an imperfect government is running a country poorly and letting companies get away with things, which is the system you want where companies can do whatever the fuck they want, then it is the government's fault. It is the government's fault that the companies, the poorly run government's fault that the companies are screwing over everyone, which is the system that you want where the companies can do whatever the fuck they want. No, you're saying it's the government's fault that the companies can do whatever the fuck they want and they're screwing over everyone because of it.
It's called Business for a Fair Minimum Wage.org. Research shows minimum wage increases do not cause job loss.
Can I see this?
It's in Discord.
I put a
Oh wow,
link
look
in the
at
chat.
the sources are as long as the article. Wow, would you look at that?
I can never die.
How? Importance of a study defined. Higher wages for low-income workers lead to higher productivity. Oh, that sounds like a good article. Institute for International Economics.
Make sure you get articles with lots of sources so that Noche can't just say, well, that's just a biased site.
15
I
years
don't
of
ever
research
use that.
on U.S. employment and the minimum wage. Let's click on that one.
No wonder you don't ever use the no wonder you don't fucking care about the sources, because you're making these kinds of points. I shouldn't have expected you to care about a site having proper sources for their information.
Nick, did you even pay attention in 12th grade econ?
I don't. That's high school economics.
Note, I took
It's
a
still
college
economics.
economics class and they taught the exact same shit as my high school economics class.
Alright, look at the article I just put in.
I don't have a target.
Note, you put in a PDF with links. You put in a one-page PDF with hyperlinks to other PDFs.
That's all I need.
No, Note, it's not a valid source.
There are 2 sources. No.
No, it's not
Higher
sourced
cost-
properly. It's not sourced properly. It's someone's student project that has hyperlinks. It's not fucking sourced properly. A page of sources? Do you know how to source things? You do not link them in the fucking document itself. You learn this in fucking like 9th grade English class. This is
So
not
the
valid
sources
document.
are there, but you don't care because they aren't done properly.
Because they're not cited well, so I can't easily look up and see if this information is actually.
Click on the
properly
hyperlink and go look.
Okay, I'll do it. Results of that. Well, this is a freaking textbook. 16-page textbook.
Yeah, no, actually, Note, I just realized I clicked on two different links. They're all linking to the same textbook. Actually, it has one source and it is a textbook, a 16-page textbook. One of the links does not work. It just took me to a one page. Oh, here's a different one. Oh wait, also a textbook. 4 pages this time. None of these are actual studies, no, they're all textbooks.
They get the information for textbooks.
Hurts.
This paper was revived January 19th, 2007.
Note, you're using a fucking, what is that, 9 years old
My
source?
dear,
What's
it
the
appears we
problem
have
with
visitors.
What do you mean what's the
Friends of
problem with
yours,
using a
boss?
source that is 9 years
You
old?
there. Make
No.
yourself.
Okay, so I can't go back to look at the Great Depression?
To
empower my summoners further.
Yeah.
Behold!
Okay, I want to point out that 2008 was the recession.
Does that change the information that's available to us?
Never stop.
You look at it in the context of
Lost their
history.
job.
Note, you look at it in the fucking
Great
context.
Depression.
Bone and soul.
Can you just look at the links?
I am.
I'm giving
I am, and they're old
Once
textbooks.
I've ripped
Oh my
What's the
god,
problem
what's
with
that fucking 8 years long link?
You too are.
Yeah, I don't know why it was so long.
Okay, you're
Have you
linking a
looked in a
Forbes
mirror
article.
recently?
Yeah. I'm not using the claim that it's biased, so you shouldn't either.
My
Forbes
dear,
is biased,
you should
though.
embrace this gift that has been bestowed
Does
upon
this-
us.
Obviously, because
article
one is
sources?
promoting it actually.
Oh my, see, you give us the information, you just give us your fucking, like, evidence, but you don't have sources on it, Note.
Come, Voss.
Oh my god, it
Your
won't let me.
fate awaits
Yes,
you.
continue to article. I have ad block enabled for this exact reason. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we can't even get onto it because Forbes is some booty. Alright, continue to article. Let's see some of these sources.
It's
Oh, it
not
doesn't
letting me
have
in
sources.
because it's ad block detected.
Okay, it doesn't have sources. It's an opinion piece from someone called where it says why I don't think we should raise the minimum wage.
He has some very valid points.
Yes, with no sources.
Nick,
In an opinion piece.
Okay, hold economics.
hold on.
If it was an
Can I
actual
say
piece,
something,
it would
please?
not say
Can
why.
I say something, please?
Yeah,
So
okay.
Nick, what we're trying to say is know how when there is a trial, you need
Yeah.
evidence to convict the person. You need, so what we're saying is, you need evidence to back up your point. Like if I say, ooh, this guy killed someone, I need the evidence to prove my point.
Oh, also,
Okay.
Rote, I
You're just
went and looked
giving
up the
us-
business that this guy works for. It's a fucking corporation. Of course he's going to not want the minimum wage raised because he makes less profit. Of course he's not going to fucking want it raised when he has a... This is why I say it's biased. He has a legitimate
We're
interest
not
in
looking
wage
for
not going up.
exactly. We're looking at like what would happen, kinda. Effective minimum wage on the fast food industry, like mine. List of sources.
I don't even know if this is an official
I am the
Forbes
Dark
article.
Master. I command the undead.
I don't even think this is an official Forbes article.
No longer getting by. An increase in minimum wage is long overdue.
Now turn your
Note, I
lovely
explained to
blue
you why he
blade
is
on our
biased.
dead
I want to look at this
Opinion,
company.
an
It's a company
opinion
that
article
makes
is
money off
the
of other
definition
companies
of a bias
succeeding.
article.
Here's a.
Can't fight him.
It's not that long.
Most opinions are
Note,
biased.
when you
So is a Trump supporter.
when you are using YouTube videos from a YouTube channel called Learn Liberty, that is the definition of a bias source. There is no
No shit,
cited
they're
source.
advocating for minimum wage for no.
Note,
What the fuck do you think?